Today, I'm going to be speaking about how we can take a more democratic approach to shaping AI policy in the classroom and how we've incorporated this model using deliberative polling. At Stanford's Deliberative Democracy Lab, our primary focus is on conducting deliberative polls, a method of polling developed by our director, James Fishkin, and continued to be developed by our associate director, Alice Su, who's here with us today. Deliberative polling is unique in that we don't simply send out surveys to participants to gauge their opinions, but actually assess what a sample of the public thinks when it's well informed about an issue. This method involves using pre- and post-deliberation surveys, panels to hear expert opinions, and guided small group deliberations about the topics at hand. And it's been used in over 50 countries and jurisdictions in more than 150 projects. By listening to people with differing viewpoints, we have seen that participants become more empathetic and willing to listen to opposing perspectives, and they also undergo drastic opinion changes, leading to depolarization. Although many deliberative polls have been held in person, our AI-assisted platform has expanded access to these discussions to thousands of people worldwide, allowing us more deeply understand public opinion and combat polarization. The platform has garnered 40,000 plus hours of deliberation, and it's been used in over 30 countries in over 25 languages, all while being as effective as in-person deliberations. Now shifting over to how this model is applicable to education. Over the past year and a half, we have had 3 deliberative polls on the topic of AI. One with 115 high school students, the second with 80 high school teachers, and the last with some high school administrators. The reason we launched this series was because I was in high school at the time, and a few of my friends and I became increasingly aware of how schools and districts around the US were banning AI and implementing rushed, ineffective measures without consulting key stakeholders, such as students and teachers. My peers and I were often victim to different AI policies throughout even just a school day, so teachers across the hall would have vastly different views on the issue. So after meeting with friends in other schools, I realized this was a shared problem, and none of the policies being implemented had any consideration of the student voice. So we sought out a way to gather a scaled sample of students that would not only aim to gather their opinions about AI policies, but also result in students learning more about this emerging technology. Deliberative polling offered the best of both worlds, allowing participants to provide their insights while learning from each other through discussion. In both deliberative polls, 13 proposals were discussed on AI use in schools, covering topics from curriculum creation, assignments, penalties, and grading. Our first poll in October brought together student perspectives to the forefront of this discussion. And after gathering results, speaking to school boards and organizations about these findings, we still hit several hurdles in translating this data into action. For one, most school districts really were limited in resources to figure out how to devote time to something that seemed like a future problem. And others felt that teachers were also a key stakeholder missing from this conversation. That's when we did the deliberative poll for high school teachers as well. And that basically would not only prove that from a frontline perspective that addressing AI early on is very urgent matter, but also display how educators are thinking about potential regulation. So here's some of the key things that we found. For one, teachers and students differed in their views on teacher use of AI. Only 16% of teachers believe that they should not use AI tools to create teaching materials, and 24% believe that they should not use AI tools to assist in grading student work. Interestingly enough, more students were in favor of regulating teacher use of AI, with 40.8% agreeing with these 2 proposals. When asked about student use of AI, teachers and students were mostly on the same page. Students should be allowed to use AI tools as a resource for schoolwork, and most did not support banning AI tools on school devices or the internet. The most supported policy proposal was that with both 88% support from teachers, 83% from students, was that schools should provide guidelines and resources to teach students how to use AI responsibly. And finally, teachers and students were both in favor of using corrective policies like warnings and grade deductions over punitive penalties like suspension and expulsion. Here's what some participants had to say about all of these topics. One student mentioned that teaching subjects is not a school's only job. They're supposed to teach you how to be a good person and how to have good integrity. Both providing guidelines and resources on AI would be a good idea. And a teacher pointed out, we are not going to be able to avoid this. The sooner we provide training and educate teachers and heads of schools, the better. We need to make it clear how ethics and credibility are involved. And with these results, we have published fact sheets in collaboration with the California School Board Association to assist school boards in California and beyond with understanding how students and teachers both stand on this pressing issue. We also have an upcoming Hill briefing in collaboration with iCivics and others on AI in education that we're co-organizing with so many people and really aims to engage policymakers in all levels of government. We also had a deliberative poll on the same topic for school administrators in February, the results of which are yet to come. And this is a replicable model that can be scaled to an international audience and different topics as well. For example, in 2022 and 2023, we collaborated with Meta to host deliberative polls on the metaverse and AI. Thank you so much for listening in. If you'd like to hear more about these polls or our work overall, please feel free to contact Alice or I. We also have a QR code for the website up here and a link. Thank you so much.